chapter 30, verse 19 says this, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and cursings. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, meaning you are responsible for what you hear today. That I have set before you life and death, blessings and cursings. Therefore, choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. I just want to preach this to you today, the power of one choice. Power of one choice. I wonder if, and I don't think that we think this just inherently, but I wonder if because of the long suffering of God that we sometimes think it's okay to take care of things tomorrow or the next day, or He'll bear with us, or He knows our heart, and so He'll make exceptions for us for a time. We sometimes toy around with our salvation because we haven't yet faced the eternal consequences. When you catch someone stealing, or when you catch someone in some sort of a crime, and the police incarcerate them and take them off to jail, then they're sorry. But before they had faced the consequences, they weren't sorry for their actions. It was only until the punishment or the seeming punishment had been dealt out that they begin to think, maybe I would have made better choices. Maybe I should have done things a little differently. We always think we have a tomorrow, another day, another chance. It's okay if we don't get it right today. The sun will come up tomorrow just like it did yesterday. But that, my friend, is a lie. Our tomorrows are not promised. In fact, our next breath is not promised. In fact, I could die while I'm preaching this message. It could be on the way home. It could be on the way to work tomorrow. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Proverbs 27:1 says this, boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what the day may bring forth. We make plans to go on vacation and set goals, and we do all these things, but in a moment, in an instant, just one thing could happen in our life and catapult everything out of control, and the plans and the desires and the goals that we have can suddenly be changed for the rest of our lives because of one choice. We don't know what the next moment may hold. We don't know what that next thing may be that changes us, changes our life, changes our circumstance. And I'm not here necessarily to prophesy to you today, but I can tell you this. We are all one moment closer, one day closer, 1 second closer to dying, to death, to that ultimate judgment where there are no more second chances. Paul didn't want anybody to be disillusioned, so he wrote in Hebrews 9:27, and it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this, the judgment. There are two things that you will never escape from. No, it's not taxes, but it's death and it's judgment. You will die someday, and you will be judged someday. We can try not to think about it. We can try to fill our minds with entertainment. We can try to avoid church or anything that may convict us. But at the end of it all, you will still be faced with death, and you will still be faced with the judgment. And I know, because that's how I came to God. When I used to sit in my alone time and ponder about why I was here and what was going on, there was an emptiness. There was a void within me, and that void wouldn't go away. It didn't matter what I watched or how inspired I was or what relationship I got in. That void wouldn't go away. The song says that there is a God-shaped hole in all of us. And until you fill that hole with God, you can never be satisfied. We will die someday. We will be judged. I want us all to understand that hell is a real place. It isn't just something that the church talks about to scare you into giving money or to giving your attendance or any of those things. In fact, let me declare right now, keep your money and keep yourself at home if it means you can get to heaven and get right with God. Now, I think you have a better chance coming to this place, but don't risk your salvation just because you feel persuaded by a man, by a person. Get right. Get right with God. And I would tell you this, is that at the end of this all, maybe you can ponder and say, maybe the preacher's not right. Maybe the Bible's not right. Maybe this way just isn't the real way. I don't know about you, but I'm not willing to gamble the rest of eternity on being wrong. Because it's one choice. One choice. Hell is real. And I promise you that it's not a place that any of us want to go. The world undermines it, says, makes songs like I'm on the highway to hell and we're all going to party and it's going to be some big hoo-ha with all my buddies who didn't want to submit themselves to God. But let me tell you, friend, it is a big deal. When you get there, you're going to wish you made some different choices. It may be partying and lasciviousness here on the earth, but in hell, it's just going to be torment. It's going to be the most terrible thing that you have ever experienced. It will be a very big deal for you if you end up there someday. The Bible calls it a fiery furnace. It calls it a lake of fire. You will spend eternity weeping and gnashing your teeth. And maybe the worst punishment of all is found in 2 Thessalonians 1:9. Who shall be punished with everlasting destruction from the presence of the Lord and from the glory of His power. The unquenchable fire will surely be terrible. And the pain that causes you to weep and gnash your teeth, surely unbearable. But the rest of eternity, without the presence of the Lord, is beyond our comprehension. It means you will be left with no love because God is love. You will be lost in confusion because God is not the author of confusion, but gives us truth. Every good thing will be absent from you, and every evil thing, fear, depression, torment, anxiety, will fill your ever-waking moment, because those things are contrary to the presence of God. And so if you don't have the presence of God, you will have those things. Your worst day on this earth will not even measure up to your best day in hell, because it's that real, it's that harsh. But it's your choice. And I hope that whether you're here in this place or maybe you're watching this through another means, that this preacher is able to wake someone up and to help someone make a choice to start serving God seriously. Not just showing up for service. Not just doing a lay me down to sleep prayer. Not just reading your Bible so you can tell someone that you did it. But because you want to know God. Because you want to make it. Because you care and you love Him. It's time to quit pretending. It's time to quit messing around. It's time to find an altar and cry out to God for mercy and cry out to Him for His grace in your life, because we've been living our days as if there will be no consequences, but there will come a time where we may look back and wish that we would have done things different. Do it different today. Make the choice today. This may feel like a harsh message without love. But I will tell you what love is. Love is preaching about the danger that is coming. Love is trying to preach people out of the fire, to try to get them out and change their lives and turn to God. Love is not letting you go another day without knowing the consequences of a life that doesn't surrender to God. Love tells the truth. Love can't sit back and watch people go to hell. Love says you have a choice. Make the right choice. A writer once wrote, with great power comes great responsibility, and I can't think of any greater power that you possess today than the power to choose. Your story's ending is not written yet. You still have time to choose what that ending is going to look like. Do you understand the power of one choice? We sometimes get more stressed out about paying the electric bill than we do our own salvation. We wonder where we're going to get money to keep the lights on, but treat living for God like it's no big deal. But it's the biggest deal of your life, and it's the biggest deal for the rest of eternity. You would think that the goodness of God would be enough. His showering presence, even the presence that we felt in this place, would be enough for us to put away sin and put away a lifestyle that leads towards the world. You would think that Him taking care of your every need, the promises that are written in the Bible, all of those things you think would be enough. But for some reason, we keep messing around. We keep deciding that we'll give that up another day. Or someday God will help us, or whatever our excuse is. And so it forces God to put the consequence right in front of us. For us to have a real moment and just sit back and say, what do you choose? What do I choose? The power of one choice. If it was $1 million that I possessed today, and I had it stacked up, and I said the first one to come up here is going to get it, people would flock to me. Because our financial situation, hear me, is more important than our salvation. And if it was the fulfillment of our greatest dreams, our hope and desire, the island that we could rest on for the rest of our lives and just sit back in the sun, if it was that I had to offer today, then people would run to the altar because our fantasy world is more real to us than the thought of eternity spent in hell. And if it was a guarantee of a comfortable living without any stress or obligations that I could offer you today, then people would flock to this altar because their comfort is more important than their discomfort that they feel with sin in their life. But regardless of the reward that could be offered today, it would all just come down to one choice. Moses stood before Israel trying to convince them one last time of why they should make one choice. He said, if you follow God, He will bless you. But if you follow your own pleasure, He will curse you. The choice is yours. But He pleads with them. Choose life. Choose God's way. And that's my plea to you today. Choose to live for God. Choose to live for Him all the way. Because you still possess power to choose. We have a moment right now to make some commitments to God. To allow Him to take some things that He's been dealing with us for a long time out of our lives. And allow Him to fill that in with His goodness. I promise you. It may not be comfortable. It may be hard. But you have the choice that either you're going to hang on to something that will curse you, or you will let go of it and allow God to have room to bless you. The choice is yours. So I just want us to all take a few moments to make a choice. Choose life. I can't make you make the choice, but I can plead with you to choose life. Jesus, Jesus. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Choose life today. And Lord, prepare me. Choose blessing to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare away.